Hello, welcome to another episode of Southern Football Clash. I'm your host, Justin Johnson. Well, for the SEC, the season is over. But there's always looking forward to next season. Now, you had Ole Miss beat Georgia, and Ole Miss advanced and played Miami. Now, let's go ahead and talk about something. The ending of the Miami and Ole Miss game. Yes, there's big talk if that was a pass interference. What do I think? Yeah, I think that was pass interference. People say, well, it was a Hail Mary. Look, I get it. I get it if, like, they're all grouped up, they're all trying to make a catch, it's just a dogfight for it. You can't call that. But the guys are still running down the field. He throws it, and the guy's literally hanging on, dragging his body, just letting his body kind of drag right here. That is a PI call, and it was not called at all. That one should have been called. That would have given 15 yards, and they would have had another chance to go back at it. But it's over with now. Miami got the win. And you're just saying, well, Justin, it's just because you just pulling for the SEC. No, through the whole game, I was pretty content. I was pretty straightforward when I seen calls. I was like, okay, that's a good call. That's a bad call. Both of them pretty even until that last play. I thought that was wrong. I'm going to shoot you straight. I really will. I'm going to shoot it straight. But that was a PI call. Refs missed that. Oh, well, it's over with. A lot of the SEC teams are panicking right now. I mean, we got so many players hitting the portal. It's not even funny. DJ Lagway, you got Isaiah Horton, you got Cam Coleman. All these guys are hitting the portal, leaving. It looks atrocious right now. And what's crazy is they're not even going to like crazy good schools. Not some of them are going to good schools, but some of them are not even going to crazy good schools. And it's because why would you not stay with a program that you're possibly go to NFL with, more likely to than say Arizona State. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, it's money. Most of the people that were already talking about this, people were. Yeah, man, some people were on board with this NIL. Well, the same people that were on board with this NIL right now is like, sucks. This is slap terrible right now. Because you can't, I mean, these guys are just doing whatever they want. They're going wherever they want. We already seen Nico. That was the biggest hit. Now guys are just going left and right. It just don't matter. Yes, should they have a contract? Yes. They should have a contract that binds them for a couple of years. 3-year contracts, 2-3-year contracts. I think that's the way to go. I mean, it's just back and forth. And it's not just SEC teams that are losing teams. It's everybody. It's everybody. Ohio State, they're losing people. It's going to be everybody. This is happening everywhere, so don't feel bad. You're panicking. Everybody's panicking right now because everybody's losing players. You can't get used to a program. I don't care what you say. You can be there with that team, but you can't get used to that program. You can't get used to that offense, that defense, and then a year just go to a next one. There's no way you could just get fit right in. I just don't believe that happens. I just don't believe it. But anyway, all right. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start talking about what do the schedules look like for the SECs this year, 2026. I'm going to talk about 2 teams each time. First team I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about 2. Tennessee. Yeah, you had a good year. It wasn't great, but it was good. Had some disappointing losses against Vanderbilt. Then you lost your bowl game. I mean, you lost to Alabama. It was just, the things took a toll for the worst at the end right there. But let's see what you look like next year. First game you got is Georgia Tech. After that, you got Kennesaw State. Georgia Tech is going to be your test. Your first test is going to be your first game, which is Georgia Tech, because Georgia Tech is no pushover, and they never have been. They have been, but here lately, the past 4 or 5 seasons is they're pretty tough. They're kind of hard. Ask Georgia. Ask Georgia about it. Georgia has to play them every year, and it seems to always be a good game. Kennesaw State. Yeah, I believe that you'll knock the dog mess out of them. And then next thing you got Texas. That's going to be a tough game right there. Starting out. Then you got Auburn. Going to be a tough one. I don't know. Auburn did lose a lot of players. I say that, but Auburn lost a lot of players. We don't know how that Alex Golish, how that's going to look, but we'll see. We'll see. Next, you got Arkansas. Who knows? Arkansas, they're one of those teams. They're sneaky good. Like they kind of suck, but at the same time they can catch you. They can catch you off guard. Just ask Ole Miss. They get you. And then you got Alabama. Always a good game with that. South Carolina can always trip you up. They didn't have the season that they wanted. South Carolina did not have the season that they wanted this year. But this team can trip you up. Kentucky, worst team in the SEC. They're pretty bad. Not pretty bad. Kentucky, I just don't think, it's going to get any better. I just don't think it's going to get any better. But we'll see. Hopefully, let's keep hope open. We'll see. We'll see more down the line through the offseason what's going on. Texas A&M, I think they'll come back pretty tough. I think they will. Texas A&M is going to be pretty tough. LSU, we'll see. Big coach changeover. Lane Kiffin, they wanted him. They got him. So they got him. We'll see how they fare. They lost Van Buren. So, and then you got Vanderbilt, who's not going to have Diego Pavia no more. How do they look without Diego Pavia? Well, I'm going to tell you something. Everybody's like, well, Vanderbilt's back up. Was it all just Diego Pavia? Or, because the coach, before that, he didn't do nothing. But he got Diego Pavia, and he's been doing something. So will they go back to a former, what they were, or will Vanderbilt stay a top-tier team? A pretty tough team. I don't care who you are. Vanderbilt's tough. Vanderbilt is tough. All right. So that's it for Tennessee schedule for this year. Let's move on to Georgia. The Georgia Bulldogs. Wow. Losing to Ole Miss really hurts you. When it hurts you, it's just knock you out. I guess it hurts you pretty bad. But, it is what it is. Things happen. I thought you were going to beat Ole Miss, but hey, I'm wrong. I've been wrong so many times this year, and I've been right. There was a whole week where I was completely right about every game. But anyway, let's start off with Georgia's 2026 schedule. First off, you got Tennessee State. Yeah, I think you're going to beat them. Then you got Western Kentucky. I think that's a win right there. Then you got Arkansas. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to look. Like I said, I don't know. Oklahoma, I think they're still going to have a tough defense. That Brent Venable defense has just been phenomenal, just been tough the past couple of years. Say what you want. Offense hasn't been clicking, but that defense has been on big crazy. Next, you got Vanderbilt. That's going to be a game right there. I think that'll be a good game. But, we'll see, after Diego Pavia if they're going to be any good. Then, of course, you got Alabama. We'll see. You put a whooping on them. Put a whooping on Alabama in the SEC championship. Just a beat down. We'll see how you do up against them. Does Kirby Smart have Alabama's number now? We'll see. Then you got Florida. Who knows? They just lost DJ Lagway to the portal, so pretty bad for them. Ole Miss, that's going to be another tough game. Can win or lose. Look like Pete Golden know what he's doing over there at Ole Miss. I think they done settled on Pete Golden. I would. Missouri, Drinkwitz, good coach. Believe in the guy. Surprised he didn't get picked up by nobody else this year. Surprised he didn't go nowhere else. But I know Missouri's glad to have him back again this year. South Carolina, like I said, South Carolina, we'll see. We'll see. And then, of course, at the end, you got Georgia Tech, which is always a pretty good ball game. Georgia Tech, tough. Always tough. But that's the two teams I want to talk about the schedules with. Tell me what you guys think. Who's your team? Put it down there in the comments. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for everything that you guys do. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Trying to get better here. Sorry I haven't been on in a couple of days. Had some more technical difficulties, but I have fixed it again. I'm getting a little bit better at this tech stuff. I think I'm getting pretty better at it. Pretty better. I say I'm getting better, and then I'll say something dumb like that. Pretty better. Who says something like that? But thank you for tuning in to another episode of Southern Football Clash, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.